All civilizations have their stories of ancient giants, huge beings that roamed the earth thousands of years ago. But 60 years ago, a man claimed that he had found an underground civilization, complete with treasure, armor, strange inscriptions, and the bodies of 9-foot giants. He thought it might have been the ancient continent of Atlantis. The only problem? It was under Death Valley. The idea that the vast desert might have once been home to an ancient civilization yet undiscovered is an old one. But giants, 9 feet tall? It's not that strange, as almost all religions and creation myths talk about an age of giants that walked the earth long before the rise of modern humans. But today's story doesn't come from ancient inscriptions or divine revelation. It comes from something a little bit more mundane. The pages of a modern newspaper. The article in question appeared in a California newspaper in August of 1947. It claimed that an expedition had just returned from the searing heat of Death Valley with a most incredible tale. While crossing the hot desert floor, they had fallen through the ground into a vast series of caves, tunnels, and vaulted passageways that went on for miles. They described it as an underground city buried and lost for ages. Inside, the walls were covered with strange inscriptions that they could not read or even recognize, and strange statues stood silent guard, representing a culture as yet unknown. Further into the tunnels, the expedition was also astounded to find the remains of extinct ancient animals, along with the preserved pelts of creatures not seen since the last ice age. But it was the grisly discoveries that awaited them deeper within the tunnels that dazzled the expedition the most. Mummified human bodies, and not just any mummies, but the remains of human beings of exceptional height and girth. In some cases, the bodies measured over 9 feet in length, giants in every sense of the word. Some of the bodies had jewels and treasure around them, while others lay close to huge weapons and armor, causing the expedition members to consider them warriors of some as yet unknown great civilization. But what civilization? Here the spokesman for the group, one Howard Hill, made an even more extraordinary claim, that the underground city and network of tunnels with all its amazing artifacts must have belonged to no other people than the inhabitants of the lost city of Atlantis. Well, as you can surmise, scientists weren't exactly blown away by the expedition's findings. In fact, not many of them even bothered to comment. And why not? I mean, it's one of those stories that goes on and just adds so many fantastic elements that at some point you fully expect Bigfoot, Santa Claus, and the Loch Ness Monster to show up. And how Atlantis, which supposedly was in the Aegean, ended up under Death Valley is a bit of geographical tomfoolery I still don't understand. A lot of people don't realize that the idea of giants in America goes way back. We seem to have a natural passion for the idea that giant beings once ruled this continent. The Native Americans had a vast cosmology of giant beings who lived on the earth before them, or indeed alongside of them in remote spots in the desert. And early settlers to the western frontier claimed that they too had found traces of giant humans who had left impressive earthworks or mounds before the white man came, although much of their proof was considered to be unreliable or downright hoaxed. But even to this day, you'll still see stories in the papers or online of giant bones being found in some farmer's field or desert road construction. And once again, the theory of giants in North America makes the rounds. But were they responsible for a vast underground city beneath Death Valley? A stupendous find claimed to be the lost city of Atlantis by at least one expedition? Well, you can make up your own mind, but to me, I consider this tale to be yet another shimmering mirage to have come out of the great American desert. I'm M.L. Behrman, and this is Mojave Mysteries.